our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
New Orleans Talk Network, a church without walls, hosted by Reverend D. Dunn and
Charles Stewart.
We're so happy that you tune in to be with us on this Monday. Remember, we are streaming live on the New Orleans Talk Network Facebook page. Just go to New Orleans Talk Network and click on Church Without Walls. To get in on the conversation, you can also call 504-341-8255. Before we get started with the show, we have a couple announcements. The New Orleans Talk Network presents Moving and Grooving for the Holidays. This is sponsored by Bethesda Community Development Corporation. And this will be this Friday, December 9th at 7 to 11 p.m. at 7601 West Bank Expressway in Marrero. Tickets are only $25, and this is for your food, drinks, music, and door prizes. Listen, this is a community talk network, and this network is here so that your voice can be heard in our community. So we are asking you, please, sir, please, ma'am, please support the New Orleans Talk Network, support their fundraiser. Come out and just have a great time. It's the holiday time and time for people to be merry, and that's what we want to do. We want to be merry around this time of the year, so you can be merry and also do something, and that is by helping the New Orleans Talk Network stay on the air. So again, the New Orleans Talk Network presents Moving and Grooving for the holiday. It's a fundraiser, a social fundraiser sponsored by Bethesda Community Development Corporation. That will be this Friday, December the 9th, 7 to 11 p.m. at the 7601 West Bank Expressway in Marrero. The tickets are only $25, and that includes food, drinks, music, and door prizes. If you would like ticket information, you may call 504-348-0132. There will be lots of people. The tickets are going fast for this event. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, please, you can call 504-348-0132. Charles, anything you want to say about the event?
It's going to be a great night. We ask that the community would support it. And this is a community station, and it's your station, so you should support what supports you, because the station gives an opportunity to anyone that don't have the proper information. This station gives you information that you're not going to get from other stations, because we talk about different things that happen in our community. No other station dare not to discuss that, and so we ask that you will support that, because those who control the narrative, they control everything, and so we condition to listen to the other station, and they tell us what they want us to know. But the New Orleans Talk Network, they are like cut and dry. I use the old scenario. It's cut and dry. We tell it just like it is, and we is your church without walls. We knock down all walls that's standing people away. So please, ma'am, and they said please, sir. That's the way they say it in the church. Support this fundraiser this Friday, and you really you would get to meet everyone that be on the air on this particular station. So come out and support us, and we would like to meet you.
Right, and I would be here also with you, Charles, and we would meet you, and then you would get the opportunity to see how the New Orleans Talk Network operates, and also meet the hosts of the different shows here at the New Orleans Talk Network. I would like to send out our condolences to New Orleans Talk Network, Church Without Walls, to the family of the NFL player Joe McKnight. And we would also like to send out our condolences and prayers to the 10-month-old Zaire Davis, and also to his 20-year-old father. Zaire, as you all know, was killed on the other day, 10-month-old, by a drive-by. But we will keep you all in our prayers, and definitely with the Church Without Walls, our condolences goes out to you all, and also to the families of Joe McKnight and Zaire Davis. Well, we're so happy once again to have one of our black entrepreneurs with us in the studio today. We have Mr. Timothy Garrett that's sharing with us this morning. We're so happy that he decided to come back, because I think during the holiday time, Mr. Garrett, we seem to put on a couple pounds. So for the first half of the show, we're going to talk about what causes belly fat. And I know a lot of the women listeners out there, such as myself, we're very interested in this topic, what causes belly fat. So, Mr. Garrett, we're so happy. He is the founder of Resultz Supplements, black brother that's in business for himself. And we here at the New Orleans Talk Network feel like that's a plus, because we want to promote black businesses, not because he's black, but because he makes us all look good as a person that's coming from our community, from around us, and doing something positive in life. And I know that weight is something that all of us deal with. I have had in the past the opportunity of seeing Mr. Garrett in one of his shows, Charles, and I was very excited about seeing that, because it was an avenue I had never seen in my life. So to be able to explore that, to see him win a championship, that was a big deal to me. I mean, I went home so excited, jumping up and down, telling my husband and all of this about this man that was in the show, and looking at how pretty those women were and how their bodies were well kept up and all of this. And I just thought it was a great thing. And I think that we as a people need to spend more time. I think the last time he was on the show, one of the things he said that we need to invest in ourselves. I do agree. You know, we can have stuff, things, money, houses, cars, or whatever, but we don't have no health. You know, we doesn't seem to go very much in life. So we're going to talk about that for the first half of this show. What causes belly fat? And Mr. Garrett, what do you have to say?
Well, I want to say good morning to our listening audience. I want to thank Pastor Dunn and Mr. Charles for once again having me on the New Orleans Talk Network and here at Church Without Walls. It's truly a pleasure to be able to be present again. Thinking that I was able to wake up this morning like some of us probably didn't, but you know, we want to keep those families in prayers that experiencing, you know, a family member that's not here anymore. And it is hard times, especially around here with the holidays. It seems like, you know, for me in my 52 years of being alive, it seems like all the ways around the holidays is the toughest time when you lose a family member. So we just try to lean on our spirituality and ask the Most High to get us through that point, because He will. And with that being said, one thing we do want to make sure that we address is our health, especially around the holidays. And I know it's a time that we like to eat and drink and be merry and relax, but we want to be careful, because that is some important times that we put on a lot of extra weight that we tend to not want to put on, but then we get ourselves all charged up for January 1, you know, the New Year's resolution. And with most of us, one thing it is to lose a little weight and get rid of some body fat. So that's why I want to come this morning and talk what causes belly fat. You know, now most of the time it seems like the fat is always wanting to come around our abdomen area. I mean, it'll displace in other places, but they're always around the abdomen area. And what I try to explain to people, first of all, you know, you have your internal organs down in your belly area. So fat automatically wants to be like a protection grid. So it always settles there right away. And if it's not in the lower abdomen for women, it's in the hip area around the sides, what they call the saddlebags down in the hip area, or those love handles, which is another word we use out there. So, but there are things that we can do to make sure that we don't get any substantial amount of body fat that we don't need. And this is why when you go to the doctor, they would check what they call your BMI, your body mass index. It's just a ratio as how much fat you have actually on you as opposed to how much muscle your body has. And we know that the more muscle you have, the more your metabolism is going to work, the more body fat your body burns automatically. Mm-hmm.
Well, Tim, we're so happy again to have you talk about this issue. You are listening to the New Orleans Talk Network, a church without walls, hosted by Reverend D. Dunn and Charles Stewart. At this part of the segment of the show, we are talking about what causes belly fat. Tim, I have a question for you.
Yes,
why is belly fat such a problem?
Well, once again, like I say, you know, your body is so intricate and smart. You know, this is this amazing thing that was designed by God. It automatically sets in your abdomen area because, once again, your reproductive and your internal organs are there, from your liver, your kidneys, your ovaries for women, you know, for men, their testicles and things like that. All that is in that area around our abdomen down to our hip flexors. So automatically the fat just wants to settle there. Now, what causes too much body fat is, one, yes, we eat too many high-calorie foods and fatty foods. Mm-hmm. Because one thing about it, not to destroy our industry, but they put all these nitrates and different things in preservatives in the food to make them last longer on the shelf. So we have to understand that will have an adverse effect on you if you ingest in that. So, you know, you want to be careful about how the food you taking and what are you taking in. And with most of us, as far as a lot of my female, we like sweets. And the type of sugars that they're using is more corn syrup and things of that nature that will have more of a problem far as that is concerned on our body. And yes, then we get more sedentary, meaning that we slow down a little bit and stop doing as much exercise, and we get a little relaxed and that nature.
Okay, well, hold that thought a minute, Tim. You are listening to the New Orleans Talk Network, a church without walls, hosted by Reverend D. Dunn and Charles Stewart. And we have a special guest, Mr. Timothy Garrett, with his supplements results. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Timothy Garrett. Are you having problems with burning fat, boosting your energy levels, or feeling good about yourself? Resultz can do that for you. It's not a magic pill, but with a good nutrition plan and exercise regimen, it will help. So what are you waiting for? Order your bottle of Resultz today. And remember, no promises, just results.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in, you can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages That Fight Back. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something,
but it's up to us
to find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world, here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
And don't forget, if you want to join us live and in person, service starts for 9 a.m. and we are located at 7601 West Lake Expressway, Marrero, Louisiana, 70072, Suite C.
We're back. You are listening to the New Orleans Talk Network, a church without walls, hosted by Reverend D. Dunn and Charles Stewart. And we're so happy again to have our special guest, personal trainer, bodybuilder, Mr. Timothy Garrett. Let me also throw this in that he's a very, very good motivational speaker because we did have him when I was chair of cops and clergy to come in and to speak to the young kids. And he's a very good motivational speaker also. But he's also an entrepreneur where he has his own supplements, Resultz. So today we are talking about what causes belly fat. And I think that that's a very good topic to talk about so close to the holidays. Because one thing I've learned that gluttony is a sin. Charles, what you got to say about that?
Yeah, definitely a sin for me.
That's for all of us.
Yeah.
I promise
But
you.
anyway, Tim, during these holidays, you know, you got so many Christmas parties going on. They're going to have food there. But the biggest thing when you meet, you go and visit your friends, and especially when you go to mom house, she done bake them pie, done bake turkey.
Yeah.
How I know, Tim, we have to eat, and we're going to eat during the holidays.
Yes, sir.
But how can we eat in a healthy, professional way that we don't gain all this weight that we spend all the year to burn it off, then we come back next year and put it right back on?
Yes, sir. Well, the one trick word is called portion control. You want to cut your portions down. A lot of us, we use food as comfort. And especially, here in the South, when you go to someone's house, the first thing you want to do is feed you.
Right.
And it's like almost an insult when you turn food down. Because for myself, I can remember when I first married my wife and started going to my in-laws, and they wanted to feed me, but I didn't eat a lot of the food that my mother-in-law was cooking, and so she got a little offended. So I understand, and we always tell Northerners when it comes out, about refusing food with Southerners. But the thing about it is just use portion control. We tend to overeat, and like Pastor Dunn was saying about gluttony. Gluttony means we just take it in too, we see it all, we got to have it all. No, just learn to trick your brain back into where your body accepts portion size of what you're doing. Yes, for me, I love sweet potato pie. My mom used to make a mean sweet potato pie, but I had to learn how to start cutting my portions down. That way I'm not consuming too many calories.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, what we tend to do too, a lot of time, Mr. Charles, is we eat too many carbohydrates, those complex carbs, because we get that point where after we eat all this food, we start getting sleepy, and everybody break down for a nap, and then we get back up, and then we eat some more food, and then we go down for a nap again. So, but because we're putting so many carbs in our system, we are causing our pancreas to work overtime trying to release insulin to balance all the sugar. But yeah, I recommend, yes, eat, enjoy yourself, but just keep it on, those portions under control, and that way you want to have too many calories in your system at one time. Now, if you're going to get up the next morning and go exercise to burn all those calories you just consumed, then yes, that's my suggestion. I would do that. So, but that's why we end up getting belly fat, because we start doing less as we get a little older and thinking that we don't need to do as much. You constantly should always move. I always suggest for seniors, if you don't do nothing but get up, walk around. If you're with a walker, walk with your walker. Go to the mall. I always see seniors all the time in the mall walking and things of that nature. Just something as simple as walking is exercise, because you're causing your body to burn calories by doing this exercise.
Tim, one thing I've learned in your profession, even though it's not mine, is that discipline plays a very good part. Now let me say this. Even in ministry, discipline is very important.
Yes, yes.
If you can discipline yourself, you can go a long ways, even when it comes down to food. You talk about carbs. A lot of people say to me, well, Dee, how do you keep that weight down? I'm right now probably 135. But it's basically because of discipline. I tend not to do any cold drinks, very little rice, very little pasta, even though I have a sweet, tooth as per se. I like sweets. But I've learned that portion control and staying away from so much sweets, because one thing, that we've learned is that heart disease, breast cancer, diabetes, gallbladder problem, high blood pressure, and all of this is a product of being out of control.
Yes.
So when you discipline yourself, even as far as the walking and getting rid of not really having that intake of carbs, does that really help our bodies to be more healthier?
Yes, it does. Now, I don't mean to stop eating carbs. Like years ago, we had the Atkins diet. One thing we have to understand about our bodies, like say, once again, it is so smart and intricate that it has to stay in balance. It's always about balance. You have to have so many carbs in your body. You have to have so much protein as well as fat, but not saturated fats that we tend to always ingest, because a lot of the foods that's kept to last longer in the market are made with saturated fats, not unsaturated. So we want to try to go to the unsaturated fats that we find in a lot of our fish, like our salmon, things of that nature, as well as almonds are a good source. This is why you have a lot of people that stop drinking just regular milk and start drinking almond milk and coconut milk, things of that nature. So yes, that will help with the consumption of putting too much fat, calories, because if you look on the back of the labeling, see, that's the most important thing, is to learn how to read the labeling, Mr. Schultz. Most people don't understand about the products. They'll look on the back of the labeling and won't realize when it say per serving and how many servings are in that container. If we sit there and it says 24 servings in that container, and we eat the whole container, we just ate 24 servings. And all that is on there. If it was for one serving, 200 calories. So if we didn't eat the whole container, we didn't tripled all those calories.
Okay.
So if we don't get it in some type of exercise to burn those calories sit and tend to just stay on our system. And then that's just how we start gaining weight. And one thing about it, it almost feel like we gain weight overnight. No, you don't. Because you don't pay attention to how your body is changing when you're gaining weight and getting more body fat. And then you look up one day and it's like, oh my God, what just happened?
Yeah.
And then we go into this next mode of we want to get it off the next day, and it just don't work that way.
Well, Tim, this is something that always puzzled me because, a lot of times I do this, something that you said earlier about, you don't want your body to be out of balance. I think I do that a lot because of one reason. I'll all of a sudden, I'm just going to starve until 6 o'clock in the evening. And I think when I do that, I throw my body, my system out of balance. Is that good? Because I remember on one of the other shows, you said no, portion control and eat, portion all day is better for you than I think.
I can answer that, D.
Answer it, Charles.
Well, because I can answer that question. That's a bad decision because I learned that when you go all day, because as a contractor, I used to work out. As long as I was working, I just got a cold drink or something. I never got hungry. But when I came in, and it got to be a habit, like when I came in from work, and once I took a shower, and I sat down and relaxed, then I started eating. But I couldn't get enough to eat because then I realized, so wait a minute, my body don't even know that I'm getting enough food because I done, I haven't gave my body no food all day. So when you come in at night, D, I can answer that question very well. You eat until you go to sleep. Yes. That's my biggest problem.
Yes.
But I also heard that eating that much at night is not even good for your sleep.
No. Because once again, you're putting and consuming that many calories and you're going down to rest. So your body is not really burning, even though it's repairing itself. But you put so many calories in till it's not enough time to burn all that stuff before you wake up the next morning. And yes, Mr. Charles, a lot of people do that. First, they'll skip breakfast, they'll skip lunch, and then they'll get home for dinner, and they try to make up for all that time because the body is trying to catch up from all those missed meals that you should have been having, portion-sized meals, every 3 hours to make your body stay in balance. And that's valid point, Pastor Dunn, about keeping that balance. And this is why you do portion control throughout the day. You eat at least about 5 to maybe sometimes 6 or even 4 little portion control meals. That way you're constantly keeping your metabolism running by having your digestive system running. Because when you chew your food and put it down, your body has to create heat to go through all that digestive process that burns calories. So it's burning automatically. And that is a valid point. And there are so many of us as Americans do the same thing religiously. Because we think in our mind, if we're eating, I don't want to eat too much because then I'm going to gain weight. No, eating less makes you gain weight because you trick your hypothalamus because it understands 2 things, gratification, starvation. And most of us are in starvation mode. Once again, remember I say how intricate the body is, how smart it is? It's like it starts protecting itself. It builds up this defense, like saying, okay, there's not enough food. I'm not having enough nutrition. Then I need to slow everything down. So it slows your metabolism down, and it starts protecting itself because we're not putting enough food in to make our metabolism run, so it slows it down. And so this is how we start gaining weight and getting more belly fat in that area and wondering, like, man, what happened? I never used to look like this.
Charles said something once, and Charles said that, he was drinking a lot of cold drinks. So, Charles, I want you to answer this when we come back. It's time for us to go to our break. You are listening to the New Orleans Talk Network, a church without walls, hosted by Reverend D. Dunn and Charles Stewart. And we have our personal trainer, bodybuilder, Timothy Garrett with us, and he's the owner of Resultz Supplements. So we'll be right back after the break.
Hi, I'm Timothy Garrett. Are you having problems with burning fat, boosting your energy levels, or feeling good about yourself? Resultz can do that for you. It's not a magic pill, but with a good nutrition plan and exercise regimen, it will help. So what are you waiting for? Order your bottle of Resultz today. And remember, no promises, just results.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network as we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages That Fight Back. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something,
but it's up to us
to find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, host of your #1 sports talk show down here in New Orleans. Yeah, I said it. FanView, where real fans talk about real sports. Join me, Bang Boy Recite, your people's man B, and Madman the Big Fan as we talk about all the latest sports topics going down here around the country. Again, FanView, where real fans talk about real sports.
We're back. You're listening to the New Orleans Talk Network, a church without walls, hosted by Reverend D. Dunn and Charles Stewart. Today, we're so happy to have sharing with us personal trainer, bodybuilder, Timothy Garrett with Resultz Supplements. Today, we're talking about what causes belly fat. Charles was saying during the break that there's so many women out there, including myself, that was so interested in this topic because coming up to the holidays, we do tend to eat, to taste, to overdo it. And then the first of the year, we want to get into the gym like myself and try to work it off. And then the end of the year, we back out here kind of like putting it back on. But if we can keep our bodies more balanced, I think that that we will be more happier by the time the holidays is over, that we just didn't totally expand ourselves. Tim, you have some supplements out there. Could you just talk about that a little bit? You have a holiday promotion.
Reverend Dunn, could I interrupt for
Sure.
1 second before Tim come? Originally, we were supposed to have been talking about, many people know that what had happened over the weekend about Joe McKnight. But go to show you how the Holy Spirit would have it. It wasn't for us to talk about that. Originally, I think Reverend Dunn wanted Tim to talk about his project for 5 or 10 minutes. Then we were going to talk about what's going on in the community. But the Holy Spirit is saying, no, y'all need to talk to people about how to protect their health.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going, that topic, Reverend Dunn, we probably do that next week. But I know a lot of people got that on their mind. And we certainly at Church Without Wall, we haven't forgot about it. But the Holy Spirit said no, say all the people going to be eating all this food. Let's take care of the living now. And they need to take care of themselves. So the Holy Spirit got us talking about this today. And we happy that we have that Tim with us today. And Tim, keep on telling us how we can get this weight off. I certainly need it.
Well, one other thing I want to elaborate on, Pastor Dunn, is women tend to carry more body fat than the men anyway. And then due from your cycles when you're changing in your life from the time you're 30 and above and keep going from there, every 10 years, your body really changes. Your metabolism tend to slow down a little bit more. You tend to carry more body fat. And especially when you get into that menopause stage, that really have your hormones all messed up and everything is just all out of sync. And so this is why you tend to hold a little bit more body fat than a man. But then we are not doing things out of being sedentary, like continue with some type of exercise and portion control and watch what we're doing. Because now you got to understand, now they cycles into what they want us to eat. Look at your commercials. You could be just finish eating, sit down, and then they show you a commercial with something that they're like, man, I wish I had some of that. And next thing you know, you done trick yourself thinking you need to eat some of that, or have that piece of cake or something like that. So we got to watch what's going on. But as you were saying, yes, we're talking about body fat and belly fat. I actually have a herbal supplement that is a weight management supplement, strictly deals with burning body fat. And if you go to the website, www.resultz, that's spelled REZULTZ.net, not .com, .net. I'm running 20% off special, Christmas special for both the protein, all natural vegan protein, and also herbal fat burner. And also, if you don't want to go that option, I do have a starter pack that you can purchase, which is 6 packs of the protein and 6 packs of the supplement, all for $22.95, to get yourself a chance to test it out and try it out. Because a lot of times I know folks don't want to buy things without testing it. Well, here's your chance to do that with the starter pack, and you'll see that it's something that you want to start taking and using. Because, once again, I designed it to do just that work. Because I went back to thinking about, as we discussed last time, about herbal supplements and herbs, how our grandparents, that's all they used. When they grew things in the backyard, it was more herbal plant-based. If you had a sickness, grandma sent you in the backyard to go get that. Like I say, one thing either she boiled it, you drank it, she rubbed it on you, something. But Mr. Charles, it got you back the right way the next day.
Yeah.
So this is what I wanted to go back to with the products of doing things natural. And yes, I know a lot of times natural stuff costs more. But once again, is it an investment in your health or all your monetary things? For me, my health. I would always tell people, I am my $1,000,000 investment. I would want to live longer, and that's the whole process, so you can enjoy yourself. So yes, Pastor Dunn, yes, it is something that we need to be concerned with, because as we get older, it seems like it gets harder, which it really doesn't. We just start doing less. The thing about it is not to do less. I see many times, I have Facebook friends out there, this one lady who is a bodybuilder, and I think she's like 81, 82, still bodybuilding. And the woman looks phenomenal.
Wow.
Because she had established a base of exercising and eating right. And Mr. Charles, it's nothing hard. Yes, it takes a little time to break certain things, but I always tell people, take your time. Start slow. Don't try to go fast. We always try to build Rome in one day. It's not going to work. You don't gain weight overnight, you're not going to lose it overnight.
Well, Jim, let me say this. I was at a funeral, and my pastor was preaching his funeral of one of our church members. He was an elder of the church. And within that sermon, he was saying things like, well, when you get old, your body, start to run down. You start to develop heart problems and diabetes and high blood pressure. And I'm listening to the sermon, and I said to myself, the heck with getting old. I want to stay young as long as I can. And he's always looking at me saying, well, you still trying to stay young? I said, I'm not trying to get old.
That's right.
Even though, I said that to one of my friends, and he said to me, well, I don't know how you can stop the process and everybody else is getting old. But one thing I learned, again, it goes back to what you said some years ago when you were doing the camp, the health camp. You said that it takes discipline, and that's all you're saying now. If we can discipline ourselves to not take in all of that food at one time, portion control, use supplements to help your energy level and your body naturally to build itself up. It's not that we are not going to get older. The aging process probably just won't come in as fast.
Yes.
I mean, I just have a problem with that. Maybe y'all don't, but I have a problem with that. I walk around here like, I'm as old as I feel. And when I get a backache, I say, well, maybe I'm feeling a little older today. But I don't try to put all of this stuff in my body that really would ultimately tear me down.
Yes.
So I'm so happy that you were joining us today. I'm sure there are many of our listeners out there that want to enjoy the holiday. The festivities have already started. There are many of us that's going to parties and things of this nature. So if we learn how to discipline ourselves, maybe our pressure won't go up, diabetes won't hit the sky, and things like that, because we understand a lot of our physical problems is really because of our intake. And you've made that very clear, how the body, needs to constantly, the digestive system need to work properly and things of that nature. And we need to exercise. Let's talk about that a minute, and then we'll finish up. Go ahead.
Yes.
The exercise.
Well, the thing about it, exercising is just movement. Most of us think, got to go get a big-time gym membership and
That's
this
me.
and that. And you really don't. If you could just take and go walking, and my suggestion is get some music that empowers you, some motivational sayings, lectures you can listen to, or get some friends and say, hey, come on, let's go out. Let's get together and start walking, because y'all are feed off on each other's energy. And see, one thing about we hadn't realized, Pastor Dunn and Mr. Charles, we have discipline. If you get up and go to work every morning, that's discipline. You have to go because you get yourself up. My college students, when you grinding trying to get that degree, you staying up all hours of the wee hour, studying, getting ready for that final. That's discipline. Right. So we all have discipline. You just have to exercise it in more than one area. We always think our health is an area that is really, not as important as we think
it
it
is
is.
very
and it is
important.
extremely important because when you're eating all that bad food, this is what's happened, Pastor Dunn. It puts so much stress on your body. And this is what start beating you down. Once it start beating you down physically, it start affecting you mentally. And once it start affecting you mentally, it start affecting you spiritually. And then next thing you know, you feel defeated. And once again, we have that adverse effect of we start using food as comfort to comfort ourselves. Well, I'm too big. I'm never going to lose weight. Or I'm too old. I was always taught it's never too late to do anything. My mom used to just grind that in my head. If you keep God first in your life, Tim, you can accomplish anything. Doesn't matter how old, how young. And we constantly see this throughout the history of people doing things that we're like, wow, how are they doing that? Well, guess what? We all possess that same spiritual power and discipline. And my oldest brother, he would always say that. He said, man, you have such discipline. My wife says that to me too, and I always tell her, I said, well, look, you have that same discipline because she's an entertainer. I say, regardless if you have one person in the audience or you're feeling sick, you still perform.
Right.
I said, that's discipline.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, when I go to the hospitals and things like that to pray for people, I don't want to go sickly. I don't. I really have an issue with that. And I go in there upbeat, laughing, trying to build them up. And one thing they would always say, I really don't feel as sick today. Maybe because you came in smiling and all this energy and telling me I need to get up. And trust me, mind over matter, it does work.
Amen.
I've learned that throughout the years, and now when I see a cold drink, it doesn't even bother me. Sometimes I still have a little discipline with the sugar, but it doesn't bother me. We're getting ready to wrap this show up. You're listening to the New Orleans Talk Network, a church without walls, hosted by Reverend D. Dunn and Charles Stewart. And we were so happy to have Sharon with us, a personal trainer, bodybuilder, putting out the Resultz supplements. The owner of that, we're so happy to have Timothy Garrett sharing with us. I need to make this quick announcement. The New Orleans Talk Network presents a Moving and Grooving for the Holidays, sponsored by the Bethesda Community Development Corporation. That will be this Friday, December the 9th, 2016, for 7 and 11 p.m. And this will be at 7601 West Bank Expressway in Marrero. The tickets are $25. And with that $25, you would have food, drinks, music, door prizes, and fun. So we would love to have you to support this fundraiser because this is what keeps us on the air, and keeping us on the air gives you a voice. So again, we would love to have you sharing with us. Supporting this fundraiser for the New Orleans Talk Network. Charles, what you have to say?
Tim, do you give a number that people want to reach you for motivation or your product?
Yes, you can reach me at area code 337, and that number is 962-5459. That's 337-962-5459. And the website, please go there because we have Christmas specials. You can get your results from first of the year at www.resultz. That's spelled REZULTZ.net, not .com, .net. And we also on Facebook. So please get out there, get these Resultz supplements. I promise you're going to love these products. They will help you. And if you got any questions, just call me at 337-962-5459.
Okay, and again, I'd like to thank all our listening audience. And remember, the Bible said that people perish because of the lack of knowledge. So you got some knowledge today about your health. And this is what the New Orleans Talk Network is all about. And it's why Reverend Dunn really was stressing that you support the upcoming event Friday. I know Pastor Dunn looking forward to seeing y'all. And I want to dance with some of y'all young ladies. So be at the event Friday night. We love y'all. We love you. We love you. And remember, it's no such thing as half dead. If you're dead, you're dead. Love y'all.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. See you next week.